Yo, what is going on, guys? Mo here, and welcome back to another lesson. In today's video, we are going to discuss the liquidity reversal system. Okay, this is a very simple system that I personally use to catch reversals all of the time, and this is something that you want to watch all the way through to the end, because there's a lot of valuable things that I drop throughout this video that I've never ever dropped in any other video. So make sure you watch through to the end. Now, really quickly before we get started, I also want to announce that our signals are finally out. There has been crazy demand for these over the past few months, ever since we stopped them for the summer break. So a lot of people have been asking about them, and I just felt obliged to bring them back out again. So if you want to start earning and receiving my personal signals, the same exact trades that I would be taking on my personal accounts, then make sure to sign up on fusignals.io and either grab the monthly or yearly package. There'll be a discount code right here for you. Obviously, the people on my YouTube channel, there's a special place for you in my heart, so that's the discount code for you. Now, without further ado, let's get straight into the lesson. Okay, so here we are on the charts, and this system, I just want to say, is absolutely incredible. So really listen up and make sure you watch the video all the way through to the end, because the value that you're going to learn here is something that is not talked about enough. Okay, so obviously the liquidity system right here. Okay, so the liquidity reversal system, one of the first things that we wait for, of course, is a liquidity purge. Now, liquidity purges can be defined in so many different ways, okay, because you can literally say basically everything here is a liquidity purge. Okay, this move here purges that low, this high here purges that high, okay, this wick here purges that wick, okay. But you need to understand the reversal system has to be in a specific area. So you need to look at these liquidity purges in specific areas. So not any simple liquidity purge is going to consist of a complete reversal. So you need to understand that first of all. And I'm going to explain literally in a moment what I mean. So one of the first things, as I said, is you need to see a liquidity purge. That is step one. Step two is you need to see, okay, intent and weakness, basically weakness to continue the trend that it's currently following. So let's just take a look at this example. Okay, we take a look at this example, and structure is very important. Having a good understanding of what the structure is doing is important. So you can see, we have here, and we're consistently creating new highs. And as you can see here, for me, in order to create another higher high, for me to look for buys, what I would need to see, of course, is a break above this high. So here is basically a high that sticks out like a sore thumb for me, and this is my confirmation. In order to be looking for any more buys, I need to see the break structure above this high. Okay, now with this liquidity grab system, okay, with the liquidity reversal system, you need to see that it fails to break the previous high. The fact that it fails to break the previous high, especially when you have a consolidation, okay, around the previous high, and it's not breaking that previous high, means a lot of time that most likely it will hold, or price is going to run through it with a simple wick and most likely close as a bearish candle. Now, in this instance, it failed to break the high. It didn't run through it, and it potentially could have as well, but it didn't run through it. What it did run through was the previous highs that we've made right here, okay? And we failed to actually break the structure here. And not only do we fail to break the structure here, we also failed to break the structure here. So this is the key part of this system that you need to understand, is that the liquidity grab candle, basically the FU candle, okay, the FU candle fails to break structure. Well, all it does is it simply releases a very strong, okay, push to the upside to clear liquidity, but failing to break the structure. So what I mean here is, you see this high, it failed to break that high. But this candle right here, I'm just going to change it to different colors so you can see better. This candle right here ended up clearing the structure. Okay, so clearing this high, clearing the liquidity above this high, but failing to break that structure. And this is very important for me to see. Okay, another example right here that I want to show you. Down here, you see how we have this low form, pull back, low form, pull back, low form. And now we push down. And we try, okay, we push down right here and we try to form basically another lower low, and we fail. You can see right here, what does it do? Simply just grab the low, and then push up. and it comes again, and it tries and it fails, and it comes again. And once again, this is the last liquidity purge of that low. As you can see, just a little tip underneath, and boom, it pushes up. And we look for an entry somewhere here after we see this candle. This candle is actually very, very important. A lot of people, they see this and they're like, yeah, okay, it's the doji, it's the indecision candle. But this is actually a very, very powerful candle for me to see. And this is a lot of time, this is where I will start to look for my entry. I will look for my entry within this candle. Okay, so that's the third part of my system, looking for an entry inside the doji, inside the FU candle on the lower time frame. So that is the system. Okay, first thing, we identify the liquidity area and we look for the liquidity purge. Second thing, I want to make sure that the FU candle didn't break structure and it simply just wicked above the previous high or wicked below the previous low. Okay, and the third thing is then I go down, refine to my lower time frame and look for an entry. So I'm going to show you the examples of that literally now in a second. Okay, so going back to my first example right here, okay, we cleared that previous high and we drop, and this is now where I'm dropping to my lower time frame. Within here, I'm marking out basically this whole move from this high to most likely this low. Okay, and I'm looking for an entry within here. So with this, with this sort of setup, I'm trying to catch this move early, and usually what I would be looking for is a full break of structure. I need to see, you know, break this low. But with this type of setup, sometimes you can bend the rules and you can try to catch that entry right at the top with a scenario number one setup. And the scenario number one setup is something that I don't usually discuss on YouTube, but that is the only exception to the break of structure rule. Okay, irregardless though, okay, this is where we would have gotten our entry. Boom, break of structure, pull back, retracement, fill in the imbalances, tap into our institutional candle. This is my sell. Okay, and this is where we would have sold off right here. Now, how could you have gotten a better entry, an even earlier entry? The scenario number one setup right here. You see, what do? We clear the previous high, failed to break the high. Okay, so liquidity purge, failure to break basically the swing high right here of this structure, and then scenario number one setup, the entry within the FU candle on the lower time frame. See, scenario number one entry, this is right here, the retest on that open, I'm selling. Okay, and you could have gotten into another entry right here as well, scenario number two, but I wouldn't have gotten into this one. Why? Because we didn't break the structure. But this one right here broke the structure, so it's valid, and that would have been my sell right here. So in essence, I can actually now trade the reversals just by watching that indecision candle. That indecision candle is the doji with the large wick that clears, sweeps a low. Okay, usually a low that could be of an importance, like maybe the Asian session low, okay, or the previous daily low or the previous daily high. So I'm waiting for that candle that seems like a very, very weak candle with a large wick, but making sure that that candle doesn't end up breaking my structure. Okay, so I don't want to see that candle breaking the previous wick. So as you can see right here, see that candle right here, the doji, doesn't break the previous structure and doesn't break the previous structure, but it clears the liquidity of the previous structure and it goes away. Same here, something that the exact same what I would be looking for here. I have another example on GU for you right here. Okay, so some beautiful moves that we were able to catch last week with the team on GU. Some beautiful trades, the sells and the buys. Another example right here. So what do we have? We have price create the low, create another high, break of structure, come back down, and what does it do? Price pushes down, clears the lows, but it does not break the structure. And when I see a close like this is very, very interesting for me. This is now where I start looking for buys, and a lot of time potentially I will pull up my order flow footprints and I will start looking at my analysis there. I will start looking at potential, you know, do my delta analysis, noticing if there's any traps right here, shifts in momentum, etc. So when we go down to the lower time frame, okay, I would start trying to form some sort of setup down here because we got that liquidity grab, okay, on the 1 hour time frame, but we failed to break this low. Okay, let me give you guys one more example of what I mean, just like so. So see on the 6 hour time frame right here, what do we have? Low form, pullback, low form, pullback. Okay, this is just one more example, by the way, that I just spotted there. See, failure to break the high, but we wick above it. And what do we see here? We wick above it. That's perfect. So now we go down to the lower time frame and we try to find our entry. And down on the lower time frame right here, most likely you would have been able to form some sort of entry on GBP USD. Okay, but I'm not going to cover that because that is not part of my examples that I'm showing you today. But going back 6 hour, once again, what do we have? The candle right here, very, very strong, 1 point bearish, clears the low. Okay, clears the low but fails to break. Clears the low but fails to break, and this would have been a previous daily low. So this is a low of importance for us. You need to make sure as well that the low has some sort of importance. So Asian high, Asian low, previous daily high, previous daily low, etc. Clears that liquidity, fails to body close below the wick, but it wicks below. That's the liquidity purge. Now we look for the reversal. The reversal will, you see the momentum right here. That is very, very strong sign of reversal for me. So now I drop down to my lower time frame and I look for a lower time frame formation. I look for a lower time frame setup. Okay, so you could have looked at that 4 hour institutional candle here, etc., or tried to find some setup on the 5 minute time frame. The entry is going to be up to you. The main thing that I tried to show you here today is being able to find the reversal by looking at the liquidity candle. Okay, the candle that purges the liquidity, in essence the FU candle. So that is the main important thing, and follow these 3 steps and you're going to notice a big change in your trading. So with that being said, that is it for this video. Appreciate every single one of you for watching through to the end, and I will catch you on the next video. Have a good one.